Broadcasting from Watts Creative Studios and live on Grove Street FM. You're listening to Talk Local to Me, brought to you by the Central Virginia Business Coalition.
Good Wednesday afternoon, everybody. This is Talk Local to Me, brought to you by the Central Virginia Business Coalition. And I am your host today, Mike Norfield with Visiting Angels of Lynchburg. Heather is somewhere. We're not really sure. But she just took a little mini trip to Disney. She did 4 parks in one day. And our guest today, Melody, was telling me that one park exhausted her. So we can imagine how tiring that was. Let's just jump right into it. So, Melody, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, doing good. So, tell us who you're with and yeah.
Well, I'm Melody Divers, and I am the co-owner of Chapel Creek Farms. Together with my husband, Johnny, and our boys, Creek and Chapel, we own Chapel Creek Farms right here in Bedford County.
Ah, I see. So we know who the favorite child is because he got first name.
Actually, he has 2 syllables in his name, so it just worked.
It just worked better. We'll go with that. Yeah. Chapel Creek just sounds like a cool, like there's a Chapel Creek.
Yeah, I had somebody like, where is this chapel? And I'm like, right here. He's standing here. He's 13.
Yeah. But he is a person.
Yeah,
and he's let me get this right. He's the regional manager.
Chapel is the regional manager, and Creek is the district manager.
Yes.
They just told me this last month, so I was like,
I guess they were expecting some sort of raise with that. Like,
I cook for them and I help with their laundry. So
they live rent free.
Rent free, baby.
So good news is because of these new positions, we extended your contract.
Yes,
okay,
definitely.
Yeah, and my wife and I actually got a couple weeks ago. We got to visit Chapel Creek Farms, and I'm not going to tell you that we got lost and went all the way down the road and missed the sign, but that's okay. We had a lot of fun and got to see. It's a really cool place, just a really cool vibe, and of course there were cows, so we got to say, look,
and it was
cows.
really busy when you were there, and you two were so kind to be so patient to wait your turn, but you could see there was people really do take the time to drive way off the beaten path to come to our storefront.
Yeah, and it was like a little adventure for us. It was kind of cool. It was we got to go out for the day. We don't have very many days where it's kind of like, hey, let's go just do something random today. And we got I think we got like a roast and we got a few things for my mom and dad as well. They loved it.
Good.
And we loved it. Usually when we make pot roast, we, make just enough. And we have a bottomless pit that lives in our home. His name is Dylan. He's going to help turn 21 in a month. And he likes to eat, and he really enjoyed it. And usually we take it, and if there's just a little bit left, we don't really keep it because we know we're going to put it in the refrigerator, and it's just going to go bad, and we're going to throw it out. But we actually froze what was left and have that planned for another kind of nice, easy, quick meal down the road. It was so good.
Well, thank you. Well, we're finding that people are saying something similar. So if you put a little bit more to the cost, some people may have reservations about that, but you're really buying high quality beef, so you get what you pay for. And in this case, it's a really good investment for your family's menu and diet. And so we have parents that say that when they cook Chapel Creek Farms beef, that the kids are cleaning their plate out.
Right.
And I never really thought about that. And they said, because that's not waste. And then, like you just said, you didn't want to waste it. You had a desire to save it and mindfully use it in another recipe. And so we're seeing a lot of people that are really getting every ounce of bang for their buck out of the meat. So I think it's really mindful, but it's also a compliment to the taste that our beef has.
It is. And we got some preformed patties as well. And so we compared the price. Okay. So to get similar product at a giant chain store that we won't name because it's Walmart, to get burgers, it's just about the same price. And they cooked so much. They were so I normally do not eat a big breakfast, things like that. So there's 3 of us. We got 4 burgers. So we had 1 for dinner that night. The next morning, guess what I had for breakfast? Yes, it was a leftover cheeseburger in this case, but
it's fine.
It was fantastic. And
I've noticed if you take leftovers and just put scrambled eggs with them, the next morning you can make anything into breakfast. Just add scrambled eggs. We do that with steak a lot.
Throw a fried egg on it and make it like a Western.
We have he's a young man that lives here in Bedford, and he comes, I'm going to say maybe 3 or 4 times a year at least, and he brings a big cooler, and all he gets is patties because that's what he eats for all his meals.
Right. Hey, if you find something good, you might as well stick with it. So we were my wife was laughing at me because we had a small cooler in the car. The Stanley Cups are all the rage, things like that. So for Christmas, she got me a Stanley, but it's not a cup. It's just a cooler because I drive a lot for my job. I'm all over Virginia. The other day, I went all the way from west of Forest all the way to north of Sweetbriar. So, I'm in the car all day and being able to stay hydrated, have something cold to drink, things like that. So, she got me a cooler. So I had that. It's been a very useful and great gift. So we had that in the car, right? So it's this little itty bitty thing, and people were walking in with these great big coolers and picking stuff up, and I'm like, I don't want these people to see I'm an amateur.
I was like amateur, but that's okay. Who says this? Oh, one of my favorite authors. She says, Maya Angelou, when you know better, you do better. So next time, do better.
So what I'm hearing is that I need to get my wife to buy me a bigger Stanley, so I don't feel intimidated walking in there with my little.
Yeah, the day you came, it was perfect because there was some of the loyal customers that were like, okay.
One guy had like 3 or 4 giant coolers going on the back of his truck, and I'm like, oh my gosh! Like,
I think also you were there the day it was beef share day.
Ah, okay.
So that's when people can buy beef in bulk, whether it's a quarter, half, or whole. And I think that one person you saw traveled from Alabama to pick up beef.
Alabama?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I thought from Lynchburg to Manita was
he definitely got the prize that day.
Yeah, definitely. So, and my wife and I talk about, is it worth the drive to go out there and get this? And we kind of debated with it. Of course, finding the time that you're open that we can make it out there, for our schedule can sometimes be a challenge. We are going to make it a priority to be able to get out there. It was so good. Like, I feel like I could talk the entire show about how good all the hamburgers and things were, but
the thing about our hours is, we are farming over 2,000 acres and over 900 cows. So our time, we have to really hone in on our timing and scheduling and so forth. And I homeschool the boys, so it's not like I'm sitting around bored or anything.
Right.
So we try really hard to be consistent with our weekend hours, but then once a month we have evening hours on a Monday, not attached to the weekend.
Okay.
Once a month we do a drop off in Bedford. So it's like, hey, put your order in. If you can't get to Montvale, we come to Bedford once a month. Awesome. And then also we offer shop by appointment. And I tell folks, like in my best mama voice, understand that I could say no if I'm busy, but please feel like you can ask me and I can open the barn for you if I'm home and you have the time to shop. So awesome. I just, not like a 15-minute, hey, I'm coming that way, but like, just a nice courtesy, give me a day heads up. And if I can, I will meet you.
Yeah. And it's so I always tell people at our office, like, don't be afraid to ask and we won't be afraid to say no. So,
That's a good way to say that.
It's always good to ask, but if no's the answer, then that's what it's got to be. So, but yeah, definitely worth the drive and worth making the well,
it's just an effort to also shop from a real family in the community.
Right.
So,
and your money goes so much farther.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you said, you have 900 cows. That's a lot of cows. Do they all have names?
No, not all of them.
Just the favorites.
The favorites, like, okay, on this brochure here, do you see her? That's Freckles. So we were trying to get family photos, and Freckles literally photobombed every single one. And in one, she stuck her tongue out.
Nice.
But anyway, I was just like, you know what, Freckles, you are kind of the favorite. You're the first one that comes when we come to the field. So you get to be in the family picture. And this is framed in my dining room right now.
And it's perfect.
It is.
I mean,
it's us.
It's I'll say farm life, but with farm life, like you it's unpredictable. You never know what you're going to, I'm sure
Absolutely.
No 2 days are really the same for you guys. And of course, cows are going to go where cows are going to go. So.
And the weather's like today, I was supposed to work with the boys with homeschool, but tomorrow's supposed to be a rainy day and things need to get done before the rain. So we had to swap our school days.
It's great to have that flexibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't think they were mad about.
No,
I don't think they were. The only thing is they have to get up a little bit earlier when they're with the farm versus with mama.
Right.
Sleep in a little bit more.
But they'll and it'll be rainy tomorrow, so they'll get to sleep in a little bit more.
Oh, absolutely. And then we'll finish up school. And
awesome. Awesome. So let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Are your boys good students?
They're good humans. And one is easier than the other.
Okay.
However, the one that comes across as challenging, he always knows all the answers.
I got you.
So I just think it's a teenage vibe. But I taught school for 15 years. And
so you're used to it.
Yeah, I had 100 kids a day for 15 years. This is nothing. 2 sweet kids that I get to teach in my living room that I love with all my heart. It wins every day.
Yeah, it's just It's just hard when you have to call the mom and say, hey, your kid, these kids are acting up.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
no, we know when we need to take a minute and take a break and regroup, but it's really good to be with them. Sometimes people veer away from teenagers, but I really like this stage.
Yeah. It's nice. They're at that age where they're trying to learn to be adults, and you get to guide them along that way. But also sometimes they get to just be a kid. Mm-hmm. So it makes it fun.
I know they're hardworking boys, and I know that they can probably run circles around some adults. They just have good work ethic. So
yeah, and they learned that from mom and dad. So
well, thank you.
Yes. So they've got great examples. I know that.
Well,
so,
thank you.
Well, I want to talk about the beef for just another second, because I know you're here to really promote an event. I want to talk about that. So your prices are available on Facebook, things like that. And I'm telling you, it's worth every penny. If you can't make it out there, definitely get with somebody that that might be interested in this. Be like, hey, let's take turns going to pick it up, things like that, or do the Bedford pickup. But what are your hours right now through this season?
Okay, so we're open Fridays 12 to 5 and Saturdays 10 to 2. We will be closed the 19th. We'll be out of town. But Fridays we're open 12 to 5, Saturdays 10 to 2, and our hours and our sales are always listed on our website, which is chapelcreek-farms.com. So we have our hours listed, any special hours, our Bedford pickup, because the Bedford pickup time and time of the located on the month can rotate a little bit. So all of that information's on our website, and even what's on sale. So like this month we have short ribs are on sale, and sirloin steaks are on sale as well. So we have a lot of folks that will shop the sales just to do a budget friendly shopping. Also, we offer beef boxes, and
which are a great deal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I think you guys were looking at one, but then it worked out that you just liked what you liked and just shopped from the freezer.
Well, we had to sample what we wanted to sample. Mm-hmm.
So like right now we have a bargain bag that's valued over $77, and we're selling it for $72, and it comes with a reusable tote, and it has like New York strip in there, and chuck roast, and some ground beef and stew meat. And so those things rotate based on stock and availability. So we try really hard to offer something for everyone in our community, regardless of a financial space or freezer space. So we just want everyone to feel comfortable buying, whether you want to buy in bulk or whether you just want to get some ground beef and make a meatloaf or something simple like that, or get a huge brisket or things like that. Whatever you want to do, we want to make sure there's a spot for you at our store.
Great. And with people having graduation parties and things like that, a brisket is a great way to do that, and just throw it on the grill, the smoker. And
absolutely. Yeah. And our goal is to have tomahawks back in stock by Father's Day.
Okay.
And you can also special order whole tenderloins, rib roast, bone-in or boneless. So if you want to have a nice little fancy dinner, just give us a heads up. Those do sell out pretty quickly. But we try really hard to be accommodating and have the things you need. We even sell things that people are using to make their own pet food, like beef liver.
Yeah.
Well, I know humans consume that as well, but lately
Woody loves that liver.
Beef liver, beef heart, beef kidneys. We also sell beef fat, kidney fat. So it's things that some people may roll their eyes or wince their nose at, but for some people that's a market for them to make their own pet food for whatever reason. And so, like I said, we just want a spot for anyone in our community to be our customer.
Perfect. And what are your hours right now?
So Fridays are 12 to 5 and Saturdays are 10 to 2.
Okay, perfect. And then you were saying by appointment is available, but
just
don't be afraid to ask, but don't be afraid to hear no.
Right. This is the people that do utilize that are really kind and mindful of me as a mother and a businesswoman and a farmer. So they give me a day or two notice, like, hey, I happen to be running from like Bedford to Roanoke. Is there any way you would be open on Thursday morning, or something like that?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And of course, the bigger the order, the more likely you are to be open, right? So it's always key too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So we have really good customers. They're very appreciative and mindful. And I use that word because I do understand that there's not all business transactions are glorious, but we have been absolutely blessed. I can probably count on one hand with fingers left over how many times we've had situations that were a little prickly. So the amount of time we've been in business, I think that's a good ratio of just representing what kind of customers we have.
Yeah, excellent. And what kind of forms of payment do you take?
We take cash, that's preference, and then we take checks, and we accept Venmo as well.
Okay, perfect.
But no credit cards. We keep it really old school and low tech, and just kind of easy peasy.
And it's got and Chapel Creek has a really cool vibe when you go in there. It's kind of an experience. It's not just going like to your meat department at your grocery store and picking out meat. It's a really cool vibe. And is it the cider barn? Is that what you call it?
We call it the cider barn because in the fall we press raw unpasteurized apple cider that includes apples, no additives or other ingredients.
Okay.
And so I really am appreciative of when my husband and I realize like people have a choice where they're going to buy their use their grocery money.
Right.
Our economy is our economy right now. So when people take the time to come to Montville to buy from our storefront and use their grocery budget, we don't take that lightly. So we believe everyone deserves hospitality and a conversation. So thank you for noticing that had a good feel to it because we absolutely understand people drove by places that they could have bought their meat. They came to us. So
that's great. So, and I know you're here today more to promote a little bit of an event you've got on April 27th from 11 to 2.
Yeah.
And is that at the Cider Barn?
It is.
Okay.
It's, so just to give that address out, it's 4915 Pike Road. Sometimes GPS sends folks by our gravel driveway. I don't know if you have that experience or not.
I did, and you know I did. I saw your face. You were poking at me a little bit, but that's okay.
A little judgy. But it's a wooden barn with a red roof, and you'll see that you'll just drive on in. And at our event on April the 27th, this is our first event for 2024. We have quite a few events lined up, but this is our first one. We've never done an event like this, especially in April. So we're hoping it's a great turnout. It's from 11 to 2. It's burgers and bluegrass. So folks can, the doors open at 10, but the lunch starts being served at 11, and the music begins at 11, and we're featuring Sinking Monroe, which is a local band near the lake.
Yeah.
Their music is inspired from everything from bluegrass to folk to gospel to classical. They are amazing musicians, and I love hearing them. I think it was last spring I heard them at Ferrum College at an alumni ag event. And I got talking to Kim, the lead singer and banjo player, and I was like, "You've got to come to the barn." And she's like, "Yep, let's make it happen." So the best thing about this is that it's a free concert. And we will have, we invite folks to bring their own chairs set up in the barn. So even if it's raining or shining, whatever the case is, we're going to listen to music and just enjoy it. The concert is free. Parking is free. We're a real farm. So make sure that if you need to wear your outside shoes and not your cutesy shoes, that's
so
fine.
No high heels, Woody.
Yeah. So we're real. So it's a real working farm. So make sure that you're dressed for that. But the music will be inside. The doors open at 10. In addition, like I said, the concert is free, but we will have a few local vendors set up on the porch for a quaint little shopping area. Nothing overwhelming, just really simple where everyone can mingle and talk and have good conversation, listen to good music. So the vendors, they all have different payment preferences. We told everyone, really just stop to the ATM before you get there because cell service can be iffy when you're using digital banking. And then our burgers will be available for sale, and lunch is cash only. And it's just, you can have cheeseburger or hamburger, and maybe just get like some chips or something like that. And real simple, so you can get your lunch and enjoy music inside the barn. And I'm not going to lie, we hope you go to our freezers and buy some beef while you're there.
Right.
I mean, the concert's free.
I mean, you're already there.
Yeah, the concert's free. Y'all come and buy some beef from us.
Yeah. And it's a great way to try it. So my wife and I came out, and we got a few things for my mom and dad, and some things for us just to kind of sample it and try and see how it was. And we are beef levers. We are believers in the beef.
Oh my gosh,
beef levers.
So adorable. I love that.
Yes, yeah. So we definitely will be visiting again. So I know that. So what kind of music is Sinking Monroe? Kind of describe it a little bit to me. I know you had you said you were going to pull it from their website because they describe it in a way that they
excellent. Said that well, I'm just going to say this from their website. They said that their music has inspirations from bluegrass to folk, Gospel to classical. Each member of the band brings their own special flavor into the songs and music they have been performing since 2013, from traditional bluegrass standards that will get you moving to tender ballads that will touch your heart. Sinking Monroe will bring you a high energy, fast paced, and enjoyable ride for any occasion. And I can attest they are spot on musicians. I really, if you haven't heard them, this would be the time to really come and treat yourself.
Yeah, and it really fits the atmosphere, and
oh, definitely.
I'm sure the cows will love the music, and
oh yeah,
especially Freckles.
Yeah.
So hopefully Freckles will have a nice concert that day. But yeah, so it's going to be a great event, and how like you said that the lunch is cash only, and you have burgers and things available. What price range are we looking for the burgers?
We have not done a complete menu price just yet.
Okay.
Still working on the kinks after a few things, but I wouldn't think that it would be like, I would think lunch you could get anywhere from $8 to $12 is what I was thinking.
Okay. So plan on about $15 to $20 a person, just to make sure you've got enough, and especially because it's cash only. So if you're like me and don't carry cash, you got to stop by the bank on the way.
Yeah. And one other thing is, besides bringing your chairs for the concert, we are a dog friendly venue. As long as your dog is well behaved and on a leash. We love that. And we get easily sidetracked by cute dogs.
Yes.
So just last week, I think I know dogs' names better than customer names. So a customer came in, and I say hi to his dog first. I'm like, Murphy, you're here, buddy.
Yeah, we moved into a new neighborhood about 2 years ago, and I can tell you the name of every dog on our street. I have no idea what their name is. So, because that's always who you greet first, right?
Yeah,
that's protocol.
Yeah, so we are a dog friendly venue as long as they're leashed. And speaking another housekeeping, we are no smoking because we're a barn made out of wood.
Right.
Let's not.
Safety first.
Yep. There we go.
Okay. Good to know. So that's excellent. So anything else going on at Chapel Creek this year, throughout the year, that you might want to mention now? And
so we continue to take beef share orders. Our season this year started in February and ends in September, and we've immediately been sold out of the first several months because we have repeat customers that buy beef in bulk yearly, and some do twice a year, and then they tell their friends and family members. So right now, the soonest we can get anybody in is June. We're sold out until then. And then we end it in September. So when you buy in bulk, you are buying a percentage of the available meat from that animal. So if you get a quarter, you're getting 25% of the available meat. If you're getting half beef, you're getting 50% of the available beef, and so on. However, it's not like front, back, left, right side. It's out of the whole total you're getting.
Oh, so now that's a great explanation, because I always thought you were getting like a quarter of the cow, and it's like, well, how do you decide what you want to get? But you're 25% of the available meat, so like you get so much hamburger out of a cow, so you kind of split that into four, and if you've got four people that get a quarter, they're getting a fourth of that.
Most of the people, we really tell people, I know back when I was little, people used to say, do you want to go in and get a share a cow with me or something? But we really encourage people to just, if you want a quarter, or if you would just buy it on your own, because there's really no price break. The only thing is there's a $15 quartering fee, and you get about 80 pounds of take-home freezer meat when you buy a quarter.
Wow.
Half of that will be in ground beef.
Yeah.
Then 30% will be in ribs, roast, stew meat, brisket, and then so that was 30%. 20%, our favorite part, steaks.
Okay. Excellent. So you mentioned a little while ago that about you've done pretty well at getting everything going as you started. When did Chapel Creek start? When did you open that?
Let's see here. It was around 2000. Yeah, it was around 2016. I was still teaching at the time. Our farm started growing exponentially in the way we wanted it to. So by the spring of 2018, I resigned from teaching because I could just feel the farm was growing,
right.
And we needed to be there. My husband did something similar. He was a full-time landscaper and had a commercial cleaning business. So I just feel like from 2000,
I did not know that.
Yeah, we had that. So we used to, and then there was times before we totally resigned from everything that there was times we were doing commercial cleaning from like Lexington, Rocky Mount, Roanoke, 5 nights a week, Bedford, and then farming as well.
Oh man.
Yeah. So now
cows don't take vacations.
No. So we are exclusively full-time farmers. This is
excellent.
We do not have any other income coming in, and that's not being personal. We always tell people that because we don't have plan B.
Right.
So if farming doesn't work out, it's not like, well, my day job, my town job will pick up. So
right.
what that says to customers is we're going to do our best because we have to pay our bills.
Right. We're going to take good care of you. This is our only thing. This is not
we were raised right anyway, so we would work hard, but that's just to show customers we are
dedicated.
We're full-time dedicated farmers. 2020 is when we started selling beef, as it would be literally the week that the world got weird. Around March 13th is when we were like, hey, we're going to start selling beef.
But that's also when supply chain issues started getting hard. So you guys having fresh available beef kind of...
And we didn't put limits and still don't put limits on what people want. Like Saturday, somebody came in without really giving me a heads up, and it was totally fine. And they bought over $600 worth of beef, whether, just walked right in. And we never would have thought of saying, oh, you can't get that many steaks.
Right.
You can't clean the tray out. Well, you can't sell us out of, we would never say that because, again, we want a spot for everyone to come. And then we have people that just want to get a little, like
Sheena and I did. We got a couple burgers and a roast and...
Yeah, but I mean, we have people that even just want to get their stuff for their cat and make their cat food and spend maybe $16 and make their cat food for a week.
Yeah.
And
you treat all the customers the same.
I know it. I was going to say, I hope that's how people feel, because that's how I feel in my heart, because I'm appreciative of everything.
Yeah. Just some customers take a little longer to load than others. That's the only difference. So great. So there's 2 questions I ask every podcast guest that comes on Talk Local to Me.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is, how long have you been part of the CVABC?
I was thinking about that. I saw that in the email and I was like, gosh, I can't even really remember being.
So don't take this the wrong way, but it feels like forever. Feels like you've always been here.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah. And that's exactly how I felt when I saw the question, like, hey, heads up, I'm going to ask you this question. So I think it's going to be close to 5 to 6 years. And I just cannot say enough good things about how, sometimes farming isn't always looked at as a business.
Right.
So coming in, I was a little gun shy. My husband and I were. And then I didn't come from a business background. So I was definitely like, do I belong here?
Right.
I felt like, am I like imposter? Are they going to be like, what you doing here? But my husband and I, we feel really welcomed here. And it doesn't, at this point, I can't imagine not being involved. But like I said, I was coming from a non-business background and farming, and I didn't know how that would be received. And the answer is with open arms.
With wide open arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other question I ask is, what do you think is the greatest benefit of being part of the CVABC?
I think the first thing is that when I felt like maybe I don't belong, that's what I was concentrating on. And then I was quickly educated in a loving way that you do belong. So all of that to say community.
Yeah. 100%.
I think that's the best word to utilize my feelings.
Yeah. And I think that, we have a lot of businesses that join the CVABC, and after a year, they're like, well, I don't know if I really got anything out of that. It really depends on how involved whoever the representative, the owner, the marketing person, whatever, how involved they are with the CVABC as well. And you guys have done a great job of coming to events and being involved and running the train by.
Every time.
But you guys have been really proactive in being part of
we
the
obviously
CVABC.
wish we could do more, but like you said, cows and weather, sometimes you can't always make all the events, but just on social media. And this is just, when people post things or, follow their page, other members,
like their
share.
TikTok.
Yeah, you could do that, but just even if you can't physically be there, just the encouraging others through sharing their post or recommending them to somebody,
leaving them a review on Google.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
I still need to do for you. So
yeah. And we have we do have a pretty good Google review going right now.
Yeah. That's awesome. Hold on a second. Our co-host is texting in here. So, moment of silence. All right. So, I can't do 2 things at once, apparently. So, we are going to take a little quick break, and we will be right back after these messages. Oh, Heather's telling me that you have been sponsors for 3 years, which is also an important thing of being part of the CVABC.
LMNOP.
LMNOP. And being part of and supporting through sponsorship as well. So, we appreciate that.
Well, thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So we're going to take a quick commercial break and hear a wonderful guy read a commercial, and then we'll be right back. Visiting Angels, America's Choice in Home Care, is now serving Lynchburg and the surrounding counties from their new location at 2201 Linghorn Road, providing our community with personal care services, including assistance with bathing, dressing, meal preparation, grocery shopping, light housekeeping, and much more. Our trained staff have to pass all of our requirements for a high standard of care, ensuring that you have a compassionate, kind, and qualified caregiver. Our office team works with you as a partner in providing care for you or your family member to make the task of starting and continuing care an easier process. At Visiting Angels, we understand that every individual is different. That's why our team of dedicated caregivers is committed to providing tailored assistance to make you happier and healthier at home. Call 434-439-4698 to learn more about our services and schedule a free in-home, no-obligation consultation. Trust Visiting Angels in Lynchburg to bring peace of mind to you and your loved ones.
Visiting Angels, America's choice in home care.
Welcome back. Thank you to Visiting Angels for being a sponsor of the CVABC and for allowing me to be here today, as I am the marketing director, janitor, CEO, whatever you want me to be. That's what I am for Visiting Angels. If you are interested in hearing your business having a commercial like that during our podcast, don't look at me, Woody. I just lost my train of thought right in the middle. If you're interested in being in having your business highlighted during our podcast, that is broadcast live, and if you're listening live, we appreciate you. And if you're listening recorded, that's also another option. So, and there's a couple options for ads. They're not expensive. You can do it and have one of the hosts read it. I won't tell you which one's my favorite, but the other one's not here. And or you can even, for an extra little fee, you can come in and record it yourself and have it in your own voice. So if you're interested in that, go to cvabc.org or reach out to Heather at cvabc.org, and you can email her and get some more information. And now I'd like to welcome our next guest, Jack Bobbitt with Rockit Creative Solutions. And tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Hello, everybody. I've been in the marketing game for probably going on 30 plus years now. Rockit Creative Solutions is an entity that I brought to life on January 1st in 2017. So it's been something I always wanted to do. Ever since I started the marketing game, was to do my own thing and do it locally and do it well. So
I got
here
you.
I am. Yeah.
So we're the same age. We opened in January of 2017, the Visiting Angels office here. So it was a great year to open, right?
Very cool. Okay. Must have been. Yeah. Must have been.
Yeah.
Right before
the end of the world.
That's it. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
That's not what happened.
No.
So anyway, yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the services that you offer and things like that.
For Rockit Creative Solutions, we are a full service marketing firm. We do everything from websites, SEO, digital. We even do the traditional marketing of print, TV, video, the whole gamut. I have fortunate enough to have been in this game even before the digital age came into play. So I'm very well versed with what used to be with just TV, billboards, and print. So and meshing those two together over these last 15 years probably has been a very enlightened situation. So
I gotcha. So if somebody had they wanted to do advertising with a magazine or something like that, and they wanted an ad put together, that's something you can help them with.
Absolutely, yeah.
All the way through to digital and SEO,
every bit of it. Yeah.
Facebook, all that fun stuff.
From soup to nuts.
From soup to nuts.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. And what kind of business area, like industries and things, are kind of your expertise?
We've run the gamut. Anything from your local mom and pop setups, whether it be a product or a service. I have cut my teeth well within the medical industry, and also within industrial services. So one of our clients is a fastener company that is a international fastener company based out of Los Angeles, and I mean we even go all the way here to where we have Perry Pools and Spas as one of our clients. So we cover a lot of ground.
Okay, and help with billboards and all sorts of things as well. So
yes,
excellent. So you said you've been doing this for about 25 years. What kind of got you into this industry?
It kind of backed me into it. Right out of college, I was managing a men's clothing store, and that had a marketing base, and I was just attuned to doing things of a creative nature. I did some copywriting for them, did some photography, and so ever since then, wherever I went from there, whatever firm I was with, I did something of a marketing skill. So I just kept to that, and here I am. I just really enjoy. I enjoy promoting and telling about giving good word of mouth to products and services for good clients and prospects. And it's just something I've loved doing, to tell their story and to get their message out in a creative way.
Awesome. And what's the best way for people to get in touch with you if they were interested in your services?
Best way to get in touch with me is my email address first, jack@rockitcreativeservices.com, and that's Rocket with an I. Yes, that was done on purpose. Either that, or you can reach me at my cell, which is also my office number, 434-363-0140.
Excellent. And what's the areas that you said you work with a client out of Los Angeles? So
I do.
even if somebody's listening to this podcast and they're not in Central Virginia,
it doesn't
they
matter.
can reach out to you and you can work with them.
It doesn't matter. I mean, we are fully cloud based, and we can work wherever you are. Doesn't matter.
Excellent. Excellent. So, how long have you been part of the CVABC?
Actually, probably I'd say good 3 months now.
Okay. So
it's something I've known about. I've known Heather for quite a while. And I started for the last few years, I've been more in the creative process of being behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of getting back out in front like I was so many years ago when I started Rockit, and talked to Heather. And this has been a very well thought out process from her to me. And I enjoy it. I enjoy being with this group.
Good. And so 3 months in, you're fairly new, but what do you think is the greatest benefit of being a member of the CVABC for you so far?
The greatest benefit for me right now is networking and getting to see people that truly need some marketing guidance. And it's not so much as trying to sell them something; it's trying to put them in the right direction to get to where they need to be. I've been to a few meetings and done a lunch and learn at the group, and I told them I am available to them 24/7 for whatever they need. And it's nice to be back in community again, especially with what Heather and this group has done.
Exactly. Yeah. And I was trying to make it to your lunch and learn. I didn't make it that day, but I heard that you had a pretty good attendance, and
we did. Had a
great discussion.
Had a great attendance, great discussion, and just a lot of good folks. And I like talking to those that want to learn, and some don't have the time to, because you can't be a master of everything.
Right.
So you have to have that resource or that person or something that can be an anchor. Say, man, I can ask Jack this question, and he'll give me the right direction. And I don't expect anything from it. That's what I just like about this group. So.
Yeah. And I always say that, people get passionate about a product or a service, and they start a business, and then all of a sudden they realize, I'm not a bookkeeper. I don't know how to set up a handbook. I don't know how to do marketing. I don't know how to set up if I was to do an ad for a magazine, I have no idea how to do that. Where do I start with billboards? Where do I start with this? And it's great because in the CVABC, there's a lot of what I'll call support businesses, like marketing and bookkeeping and things like that.
Yep.
And it's great to have that community to lean on, and even about we got our bookkeeper from CVABC. She actually got her start and joined the CVABC. We were her first customer. I'm going to claim that for day one.
Yeah.
But she's been fantastic and really helped us to where we don't have to worry about that part of our business as much, because and it's also great to reach out to other people like Bryant. We talk quite a bit about things that are going on, and even Woody sometimes. So, but yeah, it's great to have that whole community to kind of lean on. And even, we've used a lot of different businesses, our answering service, our bookkeeper, or you name it. We've used a lot of people, and it's great to have a kind of a go-to to where, like, all right, I know that the people in this group, I'm not going to just see them once and then never see them again. We're kind of in the same kind of community, things like that.
Exactly.
So as far as like marketing trends and things like that, what are you kind of seeing is working the best for businesses right now? And does it depend on industry, or is it just kind of
as far as trends go, what I've seen, especially in a local market like ours, I mean, everything is going to a digital type AI, artificial intelligence trend of things. And sometimes it comes down to just being as simplistic as what our market needs is just good advice on whether or not their website works well or not, because that is the inception and the precipice of where a lot of local businesses either make it or don't with the website that they have, because they either haven't done it properly, they've gotten someone else to do it that was just doing it for a project or a favor for them. And a website today is your calling card. It's your elevator message. It's, it's what you should have that should work properly within all of the Google web of sorts. So I think the trend for here is just making sure that your web presence and your digital presence is up to date and current, so that way you can be mobile and that you can get your word out there and create good word of mouth.
Yeah, and making sure that your information across all platforms is consistent.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
we moved our office in November, and it has been a nightmare to get all of the addresses synced in the same. And somebody came to our office the other day, and they're like, "I went to the wrong place first because I looked you up, and it said you were still on Old Forest Road." And I'm like, "Where was that?" And they tried to pull it up, and they couldn't find it again. And I was like,
"Oh yeah, it is."
I don't know where that was, but it must have. Hopefully, you just searched for this before we moved or something. I don't know.
It is.
But yeah, it can be a pain.
Yep,
so
it sure can.
And if somebody wanted to use you for marketing expertise, things like that, what kind of consultation do you set up and things like that? What's the process?
The process would be if somebody wants to talk about any aspect of their business, their product or service, just either reach out to me an email, text me, call me, smoke signals, whatever. I can deal with any type of communication, but the easiest way to do it would just be to email me or to give me a call.
Okay. I prefer carrier pigeons, but email.
No, those
too.
work too. Yeah,
email works too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay.
So no, that's great. That's great. And how do you kind of work with a client to determine a game plan for what would work best for them?
We want to find out first what their goals are as far as who do they want to reach, their demographic. Where do they want to reach out with their geography? How far do they want to go? And also, what message do they want? What story do they want to tell to their prospect? What do they do that they're better or have done better or do better than their competitors do?
Yeah.
What's that one aspect or one differentiation for you? And I just try and nail that down and then develop a good strategy for them, and also within the budget parameters that they set. So we can work with anything. We really can.
Okay. And so you deal with from solo entrepreneurs to larger companies, and you can kind of help find a budget that'll fit
absolutely
everything they need.
We have worked with a large range of budgets over the years, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you hit on something key there that a lot of people don't think about when they think about, I know when you open a new business, you get a lot of magazines will walk through your door and say, "Hey, you ought to advertise with us." You get a lot of, radio that'll come in and say, "Hey, you ought to advertise with us," and TV and, anything you can think of, they're coming to you, getting emails, "Hey, advertise with us," things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But what you said about really knowing who your audience is and who you want to reach is really the building block of how you need to build your marketing. So
totally,
Visiting Angels Nationwide, we do a lot of commercials on Hallmark and things like that, because a lot of times we're dealing with senior care and in-home care, things like that. And so with those seniors, a lot of times the kids are the ones looking for care, the adult kids.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times that gets passed off to the wife. So they advertise a lot on Hallmark, because who watches Hallmark?
Mm-hmm.
Melody, who watches Hallmark?
Actually, I don't.
You don't?
I know.
No, but typically,
it's the female.
The wives are going to watch it, except for Woody and Laura. Woody's the one that makes her watch it, but typically the wives are going to like the Hallmark Channel a little better and things like that. So
I like what he said about just everything with the website, the budget, and your goal, because altogether that makes a polished business, and you can't be all over the place. And so when you have somebody. And it is hard as a business owner, and you may think this too, all of us, it's hard to brag on yourself and say...
That's something you don't want to do.
Yeah, and I know for me specifically, how I was raised, bragging was not a good character.
Right.
And so that wasn't something that was encouraged. So now, we have a business, and you can't be wishy-washy. You have to be strong and have a backbone. And it's good to have folks like you that can navigate and encourage business owners. This is how you brag on yourself without being a brat,
Exactly. I mean, you have to tell folks what you do well, and you need to get that out in the most respectful loudest way possible.
But without
And
being loud as an annoying. And that's
absolutely,
what
without getting on
you're
people's nerves and absolutely.
exactly.
So knowing the channels in which to do that and the proper ones, because as you said, people, are always coming in your door and calling you, hey, can you be in this publication? Can you be in this flyer?
Yeah.
What I have learned over these years is just do a few things and do them well, because if you spread yourself thin,
Yep.
you will not have any money within 90 days,
Right.
period. So you need to really think about where you go and how you do it.
And you've got to reevaluate too. You can't just set a marketing plan in place and then walk away and go,
put it on
hey, we're
autopilot.
going to advertise in these 3 magazines and we're just going to keep doing that until it's thousands and thousands of dollars a year, and not go back and review and be like, wait, is this working?
Exactly.
Are
Yep.
we where we want to be? Can we tracking things back to
Everything needs to be transparent now. That's what people want today, is transparency, especially since the pandemic and since 2018 when the bottom fell out. Everybody wants to see what I'm getting for what I'm paying. And that's one of the most important things, is for us to be transparent, saying here's what you're getting for what you spend, and having the digital process attached to even some of the traditional marketing. You can show metrics at any point in time saying, here's what's working for you and here's what's not. So you can change it out on the fly, but you're showing them everything that's happening.
Right.
So there's no question as to, is somebody seeing my ad or not? Or somebody, yeah. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of times the most important thing that you can do is it's not necessarily reaching your target demographic, but sometimes. So we've done advertising in the past, and I actually had somebody that just came to us as a client, and they said, well, this person told me about your services and they saw this ad here. Well, we haven't advertised there in 3 years. So longevity is also a thing. So you've got to make sure that you're consistent and that you're patient as well, because sometimes marketing can be instant. You get a lot of, I see something on Facebook and I tell my wife, like, oh, I got to have this, right? Or pops up on Amazon and the suggested thing. That's my least favorite thing of all, is that it suggests things, because then I'm constantly buying things I don't really
take
need.
my money now.
Yeah. So being consistent with your message over time as well, and knowing that, different things are going to work at different times and things like that. But Melody, I've got a phrase for you that is going to change your life.
Say it.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
So I said this to Heather one time at the very first coffee talk I ever went to in January of 2020. I have one of those weird memories where this sticks out, because she almost spit coffee at me. I told her something I had done, and I don't even remember what it was. And I was like, well, it's a sad dog doesn't wag its own tail. Right? People don't know how awesome you are. You always know when a dog's happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
People don't know how awesome you are unless you tell them. So it's a sad dog that doesn't wag its own tail, but you've got to do it in a way to where you're not coming off as like, oh, I'm the best. Like, don't go to anyone else. I will refer to my competitors in a heartbeat if we can't do something for a family, because that's it. But however, I think we're one of the best agencies out there. Yes. And we've got the awards to back it up. So I always tell people, hey, we've won these awards. We've had other people tell us that we're awesome. I'm just passing that message on to you. But yeah, it's a sad dog doesn't wag its own tail. So
I say that with farming too, just in a different way. Like, we live in a great area, and there's going to be a variety of shoppers as there are a variety of farms, and there's going to be someone that aligns with your preferences. So we live in a great area, and I think that's also part of being transparent, is when you can refer somebody, and even if you don't get a customer, they're going to remember your kindness and just being welcoming.
Yes,
absolutely.
Somebody was we were talking the other day about the Maya Angelou quote about, it's longer than this, but this is all I can remember. But basically, people won't remember what you said to them, but they'll remember how you made them feel. And that is something to live your life by every day. If I ever have to tell somebody the hard truth about, especially with home care, like, you're not going to be able to stay in your home much longer. I'm going to do it in a way to where, like, but there are options, and make sure that they feel like they're not hopeless and that, like, oh, they just need to give up because they can't stay here. You've always got to, make sure that you're making them feel like you've got their best interests at heart.
Making people feel like that you care.
Yeah.
Because everybody, when they first look at you and they don't know you from anybody,
right?
What do you want from me?
Yeah.
And disarming them as quick as possible with that, and saying, what can I do to help you? And coming across as that, and that you're not going to, they're going to think that, I want something from them.
Yeah.
No, that's not always the case, but disarming them quickly is very good. And just long-term relationships are what I've always lived by. I've had 2 or 3 clients that have been with me for over 20 years.
Yeah.
So that speaks well of who we are and the relationships that I have with them, because they become friends, family,
Right.
important. Their business is just as important as mine too.
Right.
I always say when a customer, like with a beef share, if they sign up the first time, I say, you don't know what you're getting into in my
Right.
mind.
Right.
But when they sign up that second, third, fourth, fifth time, I was like, oh, that's the compliment.
Absolutely.
To me, the coming back or staying for 20 plus years,
Absolutely.
like that is the biggest compliment, because they trust you. And that goes back to transparency. And I think all of us are doing a good job. And I would say the Central Virginia Business Coalition, people are not a number.
No.
It's a relationship. So I think
is.
that's what everyone, no matter, our businesses are also different, but we're all saying the same thing.
Yeah. Completely different businesses. So,
Yeah.
from marketing to senior care to delicious, happy cows. So, yeah, I think my wife still talks about that. How we were eating the burgers and she was like, "Happy cows taste delicious." So, because we were talking about when you were on the podcast, I think last year, and my wife was like, "Oh, I can't even imagine like raising the cows and then you have to slaughter them and then all that." But you talk about how you treat them well and all the way through each stage of life. So. But the happy cow stuck with us. So
That's good.
That's a great marketing slogan too, by the way.
I like that.
Happy cows taste delicious.
Well, we always
Maybe that's not quite consumer friendly, but
we always, even in life, whatever you put in, whether it's words, music, food, whatever you put in, sunshine to your soul, however you're going to say it, that's what comes out. So think of the words you say, think of those things. So that's how we raise our boys, is like, what comes in has to come out. So if you're bringing in good, good is going to come out of you.
Absolutely.
So when you raise animals, make sure that they're treated ethically and they have all the things they need to have the best life in their window of life, because it will come out in the end result.
That would be a great T-shirt for Chapel Creek. Be the sunshine to someone's soul today. Like, that would be a great.
Oh, we're just getting all sorts of
I know,
ways.
right?
I liked what he said. You don't have to be the master of everything, and I'm like, I've got to like.
You don't.
Yeah, you don't. You don't.
Yeah. It is. And then when you're trying to watch your money, you feel like you do need to be the master of everything in your business. But like you said, if you can have whatever budget parameters and someone being like, okay, this is what we can do. You can focus on what you are good at.
Exactly.
And let me focus
on
what
you're passionate about.
I'm good at.
So, I'm not passionate about bookkeeping. All right. I'm passionate about watching the bank balance and making sure there's enough in there for payroll and rent and all that things. But I'm not passionate about having to go in and do the bookkeeping and things like that. So you're exactly right. So
yeah.
So, Jack, give us the contact information for you one more time, just in case someone's interested in.
Sure. Email address is jack@rockitcreativesolutions.com, and that's Rockit with an I.
As in rock it, but not a rocket.
Is that yes?
You want to rock it with their marketing.
We
will rock it.
Well, 10 years before I started the company, I had written down what I would call anything that I would start.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge metalhead, rock fan, all that jazz. And I said, rock it would be kind of cool if it ever happened. So I stuck with those guns. So,
okay.
I digress. Cell number is 434-363-0140.
Excellent.
Available anytime.
Thank you for coming on today. I'm going to mention a few events that we've got coming up with the CVABC. Actually, I'm just going to talk about one of them because I really enjoy it. On April 30th from 3 to 8, we have the putt-putt golf tournament. And that's in, it's more than just putt-putt. It's putting for a cause. So we're raising money for a scholarship that goes to a high school student that is going into the trades and going into trade school to provide a scholarship for that trade school. So it's April 30th from 3 to 8. You can have teams of 2 or teams of 4. You can be a whole sponsor for just $100. Now, the great thing about that is, let's talk about smart marketing, right? That $100 doesn't just get you the sign up during the putt-putt tournament, but actually goes up like 2 weeks before. So everybody that's going through putt-putt, especially as the weather starts to get nicer and you start to get those little trips out to putt-putt with your family and things like that, you have a lot more people seeing that sign. So, and it's for a great cause. These holes usually, the whole sponsorships usually sell out pretty quickly. So if you're interested in being a whole sponsor, you can reach out to Heather at cvabc.org. or go to cvabc.org. I think there might even be a form there. So if not, we'll get Heather to make one. So you can definitely join us for that event. You can have, like I said, a team of two or a team of four. And you can go to cvabc.org for more information about that. And I just want to thank both of our guests for coming on today and for Woody. And I'd like to welcome a new face, Emma, who is helping out with the production team today. So you didn't think I was going to put you on the spot, did you? He's just laughing at me over there like, don't make me talk. So
avoid eye contact.
Yeah, avoid eye contact, all that. So yeah, but it's great to have her in there. And once again, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Go, if you're listening to this podcast on a platform where you can give us 5 stars, please do that. Give us a review, share with your friends. And we will see you next week live at noon here at Media Squatch Studios.